Yes, students, can you see the screen? Please reply, students. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, in the previous class, we were dealing with the creative decision. This is a part of, I'll just show you. This is a part of the decision areas. So we have completed the organization style, agency selection, advertising research, creative strategy, and execution. So we were here, creative strategy. So as the time was over, I couldn't complete the last one, media strategy. So we'll start with the media strategy today. Media strategy or media selection can also be called as media selection. So basically, what kind of media you already know there is like you are coming up with advertisements of different kinds like audio, visual, print. Okay, so now you need to check which media are you going to put this particular ad and in which particular media are your target audience, okay, or the targeted customers or consumers or prospect customers are basically using. So that particular media you need to focus more. So if they are more into television and you're putting your ads in newspapers and all, that means there's a waste coverage that's happening. Okay, people are like your target audience may be like looking at it, but they may not read it because they are not into reading stuff. Okay, they are more into television and advertisements at television and all. So your target audience might be who are the people who are listening to radios or FM. Okay, so those kind of people you could target. Okay, so if you want to target them, you need to use the media vehicle as the FM or AM. Okay, or your target audience likes to read, so it could be newspaper or a magazine or whatever. So you have to put the ads there. Okay, so like it depends on the age, the demographics basically. So if it is the older people, they usually like to read papers, magazines, and other stuff. Even they'll watch television, but not at the rate where the youngsters are basically watching the television. Okay, so that's how you are basically having to take decisions towards reaching your target audience. Okay, so media conditions vary considerably from one country to another. So as we are talking about internationally here, so it is right saying that considerably changes will happen in the media conditions. The less developed countries like Vietnam, Kenya, and Egypt, most consumers do not have contact with the marketers advertising. In the sense, they are away because it's not that developed, right? Kenya, Egypt, and all, it's not that developed, and it is mostly like Egypt and all. If you see, it's a desert basically. Okay, so contact with the marketers advertising and promotion efforts until they enter a store. In the sense, it's the point of contact advertisement. So until they go there, there is no means that you can reach them. So once they basically reach the store, you can have advertisements in the store or just outside the store or near the store, we can say. Okay, so these are called as point of purchase advertisements. So these people are basically not worried about what advertisements or what the manufacturers want to say to them. Okay, so they basically like we want something, they go to the store, and that is when they will be looking at the advertisements. Okay, packaging and other point of purchase elements. That is what point of purchase. I just told you packaging and the other point of purchase elements rather than media ads. So it is rarely seen by people in those particular countries. Okay, the media ads. So at the point of purchase, we need to focus. So we'll have greater impact on purchase decision. So we need to have our advertisements at the point of purchase at stores. Okay, then problem faced by media planners. What are the problems? First one, types of media available are different in different countries. Okay, so in some of the countries, some kind of media is more prevalent. That means more people are using that media, and it could be in some other countries where they might not be using uh, a particular media there. Like in one country, it might be prevalent, and other country, it might not be that prevalent. Okay, so example, in many South and Central African countries, okay, like Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and Zimbabwe, radio is the dominant medium, and access to TV sets is very limited. Okay, so that means so these people are listen to radio to a larger extent because they cannot afford having a TV or a what do you call set-top box connection or a cable connection. So it is very difficult because these countries are like facing a lot of issues, like even the hunger issues and all. So in many places you cannot find good drinking water, pure drinking water. So they are again having issues with water, food. Food is very scarce. So there are many malnutrition, like kids with malnutrition. So they are not having food, proper food, and due to which, okay, and drinking contaminated water, they are having a lot of health issues as well. So they are focusing more on getting good water and proper food, okay, than watching the television or looking at the ads and all. So they basically listen to radios. Then in Vietnam, for many years, outdoor advertisement was the best way to reach consumers along with the point of purchase material. So here outdoor advertising means banners, billboards. Okay. Then at the point of purchase nearby the store or inside the store as well. So in Vietnam, it is this kind of advertisement which can attract more people. Okay. So because people are going there to buy things at that time, they will be viewing your particular ads and outside. So it is not prevalent that any kind of media other than the outside advertisement, okay, like the broadcast or the newspaper, it's billboards and other outdoor advertising. It could be in transit also. So I have seen, so where trucks and buses and all, you might have seen advertisements which are put on them. Okay, so even on trains you might have seen trains, planes. So these are in transit advertisements. So these are also kind of advertisements which are coming under outdoor advertisement. Okay, so then the amount of time spent watching TV varies among countries. So as we just looked into different countries where some of the countries were not able to afford TV and cable connections. So these people are completely unaware of the ads, okay, or the different things that come in TV and other stuff. Okay, so in many countries or in different kind of countries where people watch at different rate. In India it is very high, so you watch a lot of television. Okay, so it is prevalent that you can have your advertisements in TVs, but there are some other countries where the average time would go up to 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours. Okay, only that much they watch television. So we have seen that as well. Like in many of the countries, you cannot have commercial on Saturdays and Sundays. So in some broadcasters, in some countries, the national broadcasters, so you may not have advertisements at night, okay, or between the programs. So they feel it is wrong. Okay, so or it is against their particular rules or laws. So we need to take into consideration what laws the land is having. Okay, then in US, the average person spends nearly, yeah, see here, spends nearly 4.5 hours watching TV. In Europe, it is 3.5 hours. Lowest of 2.4 hours in Switzerland and high of 3.9 hours in Greece. So this is lowest and highest. This is in Europe. Okay. So 2.4 hours in Switzerland and highest, see the highest around 4 hours, 3.9 hours in Greece. In other countries, US and all 4.5 hours, and Europe it is 3.5 hours in general. So 2.4 and 3.9. So this is the highest and lowest. And in general, if you take, it comes to 3.5 hours. Okay, this is media selection. Then in some countries, TV ads is not permitted for the amount of commercial time is severely limited. In the sense, out of whole day you can only have 10 minutes of advertisement or 20 minutes of advertisement, something. This kind of limitations is there. You cannot exceed this much amount of advertisement time in some particular countries. Like in example, in Germany, ads is not permitted after 8 p.m, okay, on government owned channels. So I was just talking about this. So on Saturdays, Sundays, in the evenings. So this is what, after 8 p.m, you cannot have any advertisements in government owned channels. Okay, ads are prohibited on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah, even this was told to you, on Saturdays, on Sundays and holidays. So this is not applicable to privately owned journal channels which can devote up to 20% of the airtime to commercials. So here again there is a cap of up to 20%. Okay, up to 20% of their airtime to commercials. Then in Netherlands, TV spots are limited to 5% of airtime. So in Germany it was up to 20%. Here it is 5%. Okay, of airtime and must be booked up to a year in advance. So if you want to put your ads because of only 5%, there will be a lot of people who will be booking slots, and you need to wait for over an year to publish your ad in that particular uh, airtime. Okay, in that particular country. So you can say, so just 5%. Just imagine how it is. Okay, so that's why we need to wait. Like this is similar to kind where you are going and buying a particular vehicle, right? Maybe two wheeler or a four wheeler, where they are telling you you have to wait for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. So it is something like that. You are booking and you are in line. So as and when the product comes, you are getting here. Okay. So similarly, in this case, you are having an ad and you are ready. Even if you are ready to pay, also you need to come in line. So as and when your time comes, you need to here your ad, everything should be ready, and they'll inform. Okay, your slot is on this particular days, and this is the number of times you can basically go on air. So on those particular days only, you will be your advertisement will be basically broadcasted in those particular nations. That is Netherlands. Then Australia lifted ban on cable TV ads in 1997. So up to in 1997, you are not allowed to show any ads in Australia. Okay. However, Australian consumers do not tolerate as must ads in cable as in free TV networks. In a sense, in India also you have seen there are some free channels and some channels where you need to pay. So Australian people they don't want to see ads in those paid channels, okay, because they are paying. So they can show as many in the free channels. So they don't bother. But as and when they are paying the money and taking the channels, they don't want to see more of the advertisements in those channels. Okay, this is in Australia. Then the characteristics of media differ from country to country in terms of coverage, cost, quality of reproduction, then restrictions, and the like in some countries media rates are negotiable or non-fluctuate owing to unstable currencies, economic conditions, or government regulations. So as you already seen, in country to country it is differing in terms of coverage. So each media, like how many people it is basically being shown or are able to see my ad. So this is coverage at least once. So this is coverage. Then frequency. So quality of reproduction in the sense how many times it is reproduced, or we can say it as how many times it is being shown repeatedly. So here in terms of quality of reproduction, you can say it as frequency also. So how many times it is reproduced. So that is what is frequency. Okay, there are so many restrictions on all these things. Okay. Then again, in many countries, because of the fluctuations in the currencies and all, if you are dealing with internationally countries in what you call worldwide, so the currency rates will differ. So similarly, there will be a lot of fluctuations and negotiations that you need to do before taking the time or space basically. So example in China, TV stations charge a local rate for Chinese advertisers, a foreign rate and a joint venture rate. So it depends. Like if you are a foreign, uh, there are sorry, there are different rates for different kinds of companies. Like if it is a Chinese company, okay, the rates are very low. So if it is a foreign company, the rates are different. And if it is a joint venture, foreign and a Chinese company, so the rate is different. Okay, so the criteria in China is whether it is a Chinese owned company, I mean, coming from China, like how it is in made in India. Okay, the company make in India or made in India, what we say. So if it is in, it's an Indian company, or in case of China, it is Chinese company. So if it is a Chinese company, then the rates are different. If it is a foreign company, the rates are different. And if it is a what you call collaboration or a joint venture, then the rates are different. Again, the collaboration or the joint venture between the Chinese company and the foreign company. Okay, the China is the largest TV market with 900 million viewers. Just imagine 900 million people watch television. So it is the largest TV watching what do you call population, but is strictly controlled by the Communist Party. So the Communist Party is the ruling party in uh, China. So these people are basically controlling what to be shown, when to be shown, and all. Okay. Then state-owned China Central Television controls the national networks. So this particular the Central Television state-owned China Central Television, these people basically controls the national network. So what to see, what not to see, what kind of advertisements can be aired, and all things will be taken care of by them. Then politics frequently intrude into program selection and scheduling. Okay, so what kind of programs you need to show the public and when to show. So even these particular things are like having an issue with the political party, because if there are some elections or they want to build a narrative or something, they come in between and they start showing their things. Okay, what they wanted to show, and all your things are put on hold. Okay, a show might be delayed for several months to coincide with a key political event. If there is a political event that they are planning, so your advertisements or anything, whatever would be scheduled there, would be scrapped, and it would you need to wait for months together to show your advertisement because of that political event. Okay, or programs from foreign countries may be pulled off the air. In the sense, if there are any other like a news channel is airing some serial or some what do you call daily soap from different countries, so that will be stopped, and the China's state sponsored whatever they want to tell, because of that particular event that is coming up, so those things will be running in the television and nothing else. Okay, so these are some of the things. Then another problem for international advertisers is obtaining media information such as circulation figures, audience profiles, and costs. So we have seen like CPM, cost per thousand, then TRP, GRP, and all. So in some countries, it is very difficult to find out these things. Okay, to find out the information about circulation figures. So how many people basically watch, or how many papers these people basically print. So even at some countries, we are not able to get this information, or the owner of those particular media houses will not be ready to give you because of so many reasons. Okay, then many countries that had only state-owned TV channels are now experiencing a rapid growth in commercial channels, which is providing more market segmentation opportunities. In the sense, earlier there are only state-run channels, okay, on TV. Now there are other. They are in those countries it is allowed for other people to come and start their channels. So like that, more segmentation is possible now. So based on different segments, you can come up with different channels. Like for example, for small kids, we are having Cartoon Network, Pogo, and all other things, Nickelodeon and all. Okay, we are having the daily soaps like normal regional, what do you call it, regional channels, like for different languages, English, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, everything we are having. Okay, so these are they are catering one kind of segment. Okay, so there is one more kind of segment where like people like to watch news. So there is one kind of segment, and there is one more kind where the people are like more interested in the stock market news. Yes, such channels are also available. So the depending upon the segments, or depending upon the type of media they want to see, there are different kinds of channels. There are some channels only for music. These are for music lovers. Okay, so you might have seen, you are like basically knowing all these things. Music channels are there, movie channels are there, okay, comedy channels are there, then normal regional different languages, regional channels are there, news channels are there, okay, then cartoon channels are there. So all these basically are targeting different segments of the market. Okay, market in the sense viewers in this particular case. So media buyers only rely on the instincts when purchasing TV time, as reliable audience measurements data are not available. So you never know who is watching what. So in many houses, if you see, even if you have a small kid who is around 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years of age, he only wants to watch the Cartoon Network or any other such channels. Okay, so even if the adult is there with them, So they basically make the adults to change the channel, and they want to look at the programs what they want. Okay, these things will happen. So only the kid will not be watching it. So the people who are sitting there will also be watching it, right? So it was intended to be watched by the kids, but because of the time where all the people are also sitting of different ages, even they will watch. Okay, so it might you might have witnessed this in your house or in your relative's house. Okay, because of the small kid, you are not allowed to put different channels, so you have to watch only cartoons. Happens with many people. Then a large number of research companies are developing audience measurement systems for countries in Eastern Europe, Russia, and China. So it is very difficult to find out exactly who is watching it and at what particular interval they are watching, and all these things to find out. So some research companies are developing audience measurement systems in countries like Eastern Europe, Russia, and China to know what they are basically watching, okay, and what they are interested in. So you might have like you could ask me, sir, TRP and other stuff is there, okay, but these are not much reliable. As many channels are coming, it is very difficult for agencies or the rating agencies, okay, to like compete all over like with all the channels, okay. So it could be difficult, so they are coming up with new researches, okay. They're coming up with new standards, new ways of finding the required data. Okay, so you might have seen like if you open cable up to 900,000, 1050 channels are there. The numbers I'm talking about. So in between there could be some numbers where you don't have any channels. Okay, but if you see worldwide, okay, so there are n number of TV channels. Okay, they are countable or not. Not an issue, but we may not be able to get the exact number here. Okay, but if you see in India only, because of the regional channels, and I told you different segments. Okay, like languages, different languages are there. Okay, then like news, even news also they are having different channels. Okay, like Marathi news is there, Kannada news is there, English news is there. Okay, and all other news are there. Then cartoon. So how many cartoon channels are there? Around 10, 15 cartoon channels only in India. So just imagine in other countries. Then some science and other stuff like National Geographic science or Discovery science. So these are related to science. Then nature, like what you call Nat Geo, then Discovery, Animal Planet. So this is one kind of category. So to have an what you call gathering of data is very difficult. So there are a lot of researches are going on how to collect the data from all the channels. Okay. Then internet advertising. What is internet advertising? It means using internet as a medium for advertising. I need not tell you much because all are having mobile, all are having internet. You are getting advertisements. You are watching advertisements. Okay, just a second. So internet advertising, it means using internet as a medium for advertising. It allows companies to create awareness, provide information, and influence attitudes, and is a direct response medium, allowing the user to both purchase and sell products through e-commerce. So internet advertising, we are like watching like anything because the use of internet has increased at tremendous rate because of two things. One, more sophisticated devices where big screens are there, and the second one is like uh, access to cheap internet. Okay, so earlier if you just see, I think some of you also might have bought the internet. Like for 1 GB you used to pay around 400, 500 rupees. Now in the same 400, 500 rupees, we are getting around 84 days, 96 days and all. And that too 1 to 1.5 GB up to 2 GB per day. So earlier only for 1 GB for the whole month we used to pay 300, 400 up to 500. For the same amount now we are getting per day 1 GB to 2 GBs of data. So just imagine how much of internet things could have improved. So similarly, the use of the what do you call YouTube and all such social media apps are also there. YouTube is a platform where many people upload videos. Okay, So, and many people also watch them for different things. Then comes the social media like Facebook, then Twitter, Instagram. So all these things again work on internet where people are posting different things. It is used for different category of people for different things. Okay, so this is basically social media, socially engaging with different people. Okay, so here all kinds of issues are discussed by different kind of people. Okay, whether it could be some Bollywood or cinema related, film related, or it could be politics related, or it could be environmental related, it could be anything basically. So all kind of issues are there. People discuss, they talk. Okay, even like the most popular one, that is the uh, what do you call WhatsApp. So where it could be like you could chat with people personally as well as in group. Okay, so not only that, they are providing so many other things like group chat. Okay, then money transfer. I think you remember in WhatsApp you can transfer money as well. Okay, you need to set up your account, connect it with your account and your friend's account, and you can directly transfer money. So there is an option for that also. It's not that popular because there are too many different apps that are there. Okay, so again these particular apps use internet only to work. So internet is very what you call important nowadays, where most of the things are done through internet, and especially in the present situation, in the pandemic situation, most of us survived because of internet, you could say, and the OTT platforms where you could see different movies and what you call different series, web series. So it's somewhere from other country and somewhere from the original, again somewhere from the TV space as well. So this is what is internet advertising. You could have seen like in between particular YouTube, you could see ads. There will be some yellow colored dots where when the streaming reaches there, a new pop-up will come where it shows a different advertisement. So like some advertisement you can skip after some particular seconds, and some you cannot skip. You have to go through the entire advertisement. So you might have thought like these people are making billions and billions. Okay, but they are not charging even 1 rupee with you. Okay, from you basically. Whichever social media you can take. Okay, so they are not charging much unless and otherwise they are telling you like go premium. When YouTube premium is there, LinkedIn premium is there, where they don't show you ads. Okay, even with this particular song broadcasting apps like Spotify is there, then so many others are there. Okay, you already know it. So these people again will say go premium, pay us something, and you are listening to ad-free songs. Otherwise, the revenue how they should get, we are getting in millions and billions. How? Because of the advertisements. Okay, so this is how they are generating money. Facebook, you are not giving penny to them, but you are giving all your data basically. So what you are doing, so there are some people who update on a minute basis. So I'm here, I'm sitting here, I'm standing now. Okay, I'm hungry now, I'm eating this at this particular place. I'm at this particular theater. Okay, so yes, it is good to update stating that okay, we are here, we are there. But there are people who can take, who can basically misuse that particular data. Like I don't know whether it is joke or not. Many times I have seen like people updating it. I'm going here. I'm going here. I'm going for a particular what do you call? Uh, Now it is not possible. Okay. So earlier, I mean, in the coming period, we may like on particular holidays also. They say okay, 3 days, 4 nights. I'm going to this country, that country, or this place or that place. So what does that mean? If somebody like with the bad intention sees it, that means they'll be knowing that there is nobody at your home. They can come and start robbery or something. Okay, they can have even many times we have seen that. Okay, because of the Facebook post, many people have lost so many things. Okay, so because each and everything they'll be updating. Okay, started from this particular place, reached to this particular place, going here, going there. Means but why you need to update? Your friends are there, you can directly talk to them. Okay. And it's entirely your wish what you want to do. But be careful. Like there could be some mischievous people who could harm you or your property. Okay, because of you updating everything minute by minute or frequently. I cannot say minute by minute, frequently. Like if you are going out, okay, like left Belgaum, if you are going from here to your place, left Belgaum, moving to my hometown after long days. So all will come to know are your friends basically. Okay, when you go there, you can directly meet your friends, right? Why you need to update everything? So again, in WhatsApp status, everything will be there. Off to this place, off to that place, back from that place. Enjoyed a lot there, or I will be enjoying a lot. Okay, so enjoyed is fine because you already went and came back. But enjoying will enjoy. So this makes that okay. Says that you are not here. So people who can take advantage of it can take advantage. So this is the pros and cons. Some of the pros and some of the cons of internet advertising. Then components of internet advertising. What all are there? World Wide Web, www. You already know. Email. So you'll see them not too much in detail because you know. In short, I'll tell you everything. Email. Okay, Internet Relay Chat, IRC, Usenet, Gopher. Okay, there are some you might not be knowing or might be hearing for the first time also, like Usenet, Gopher. Okay, then about servers, few people will be knowing what are servers. Browsers, all of us will be knowing. Then HTTP, again we use a lot, but few of us will not be knowing about HTTP. Then modem. So we'll see what these are. So World Wide Web, www. So we are using hell a lot of times. So if you want to check something in the internet, you want to search something, first you need to open this particular website. So it starts with www, that is World Wide Web. It's a network of servers which are linked to each other. So you cannot keep all the data in one place. So it is being distributed and it is connected. So using World Wide Web. Okay, then it works on client server arrangement. So there is a person who is using it, is a client. Then a particular place where everything is stored and there is a data transfer between the user and the server and the user. So if you upload something, then only the data goes to the server. It is not like the server is generating everything. So that is what is the client server arrangement. You put the data over there and you retrieve it when you require. Okay, where a request is sent by the client to the server and the server provides information requested by the client. We can say this as basic Google search. So when you search something, the information like what you want will go to the server and relevant information is fetched back to you in some amount of time. It will come back and you can go through the information. Then web servers hold a set of pages written in hypertext markup language HTML. Okay, so what is this? This is the way in which a particular web page is written. This is you can see there are various other ways, but this is the most basic one, HTML. Okay, hypertext markup language, HTML. Then each page has a address called as URL. So you know this URL, the address, the links that we send you. Okay, so even for joining this particular class, a particular link was sent. It is called as URL. When you click on it, so it takes you somewhere. Okay, so similarly here it is taking you to my class where the link was sent by me. So when you click on that particular link, you are directed to my class. So Uniform Resource Locator URL. The full form is Uniform Resource Locator. So uniform why? So there might be hundreds of people who could join. Okay, as and when they click, so uniformly they are sent to my particular class, right? This is Uniform Resource Locator, which consists of host's internet address. So here I am hosting it. So my internet address is linked with this particular page. Okay, because however internet I am getting it and I am hosting it. So I am calling everyone. So I am the host. So my internet address is attached with this. Okay, followed by the location of the file on that particular server. Okay, so if you want to get particular file, you want to download. So I sent like some time ago, I have sent some what do you call notes to you. So if you want to download it, when you click it, okay, it comes from my device wherever I have uploaded it. It goes to a server. So when you click download or when you click on a particular file, it starts downloading the file which is there in the server, okay, directly. So that is the link. So I am sending here, okay, so it goes to a particular server and it is shown as a particular file to you and not a link. So as in when you click on that particular file, it directly connects to that particular server and it gets downloaded. So unless and until I put it there, you cannot download it. And if I delete it, so again if you click, so sometimes you might have seen some old pictures or some old documents if you try to retrieve, it will not be there because you might have deleted or the source might have deleted it. If you want to download it, it says file is not available, or the address is not available now, it is expired, or the content has been removed from the server. Some message will come. That means there is a deletion of this particular file or document which was there in the server earlier. So that is what this means. Then email. It enables users to transmit messages. Okay, I don't want to explain much. You know, email, electronic mail. You are writing something, and when you put an address of a particular person, that is the email ID. So again, the IDs are unique to people. In the sense, multiple people might have multiple IDs. Okay, but it goes to the same person. Okay, if I have three IDs, you are sending mail to the all the three IDs. It comes to me only. Okay, that means I am only retrieving those particular emails. So like one I am having college mail ID, one my personal mail ID, something like this. So both, if you send the mail to both, it reaches me under my mailbox only. So that is what is email. Then internet relay chat. So this is kind of a place where you can directly chat with people, like you are messaging on WhatsApp, right? So this is something like that. So with the company, so you might have seen, if you open a particular website, they say how may I help you, and there is a bot which will be ready to talk to you. So that is a whole new different technology, but it is something like that where you can directly chat between the company and yourself, or it could be a group of people basically. So it enables users to talk electronically in real time with each other. That is what your WhatsApp does, right? So if you are messaging personally, it goes to one person. If you are messaging in a group, it goes to all the people in the group. So and it is like real time. If you send a message, you can the other person can read in a few seconds, and the same thing happens when he's sending a message. I can read it in seconds, right? So that is what is IRC, that is Internet Relay Chat. Then Usenet. It provides a platform to share knowledge. That means it is kind of a website or something. I can tell you that. Okay, Usenet is, it provides a platform to share knowledge. Where like a server, I told you, like if I send something to you, it goes to a place. Okay, from there it is being downloaded by you when you are clicking on that particular file. So something like that. It provides a platform to share knowledge. Okay, so this is Usenet. Then comes Gopher. So it is kind of an app which helps you to retrieve the data. That means which helps you to get the data. So when I click how it is connected, so it is like a particular Gopher will be there which will be helping me to get that particular file from the internet to your device. Okay, your device would be a laptop, it could be a computer, it could be a mobile phone, it could be a tablet, whatever it could be. But when you are clicking on that, a particular Gopher helps you to go and retrieve that particular data for you. Okay, that's why it says it helps in retrieving documents. Then servers helps users to store and retrieve information. So whatever you type when you are connected, okay, when you are connected to the internet, whatever you do, it basically goes and stores in a particular server. Something you upload, it goes to a server. Something you download, it comes from the server. Okay, server is basically helping you to have data transfer. Basically, it basically keeps the data that you upload, okay, in that particular place, in a particular place. Then somebody tries, the person who tries to get it, like the permission you might have already given him. So for that, he is trying to use that particular information. So here we are basically having what a space. Server is a space where we store data and retrieve it, I think. Then browsers, they enable us to connect to internet and see web pages. So some examples of browsers can say like Chrome, Internet Explorer, UC browser and all. So these are some of the browsers which help you to connect to internet. So these are called as browsers. Then HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So it could be HTTP or HTTPS, one more, where it is called as S is secured. Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. So it is a set of rules framed for interaction between the web browsers and web server. So this acts as some of the protocol. There should be some rules and regulations, right? So when if you're coming to college, so there are some set of rules and regulations which you need to like take into consideration while you are at that particular place, right? So similarly, when you're using internet, there are a set of rules and regulations. So these are called as HTTP. And if it is secured, a particular thing is there called as secured. So if you're using some bank or any other sensitive data, or like server with a sensitive data, yes will be attached. If yes is not there, that means you are vulnerable. That means it is not secure. Data transfer is not secure. So usually we see that. So any like www or something you type, right? So before that, if you check, there will be HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, there will be semicolon, then two uh, backward slashes, then your thing will start. That is www or whatever. So this is what is the HTTP. These are set of rules which are governing the internet. So the set of rules for interaction between the web browsers and the web servers. Modem. What is modem? It helps in getting access to internet. So this is a kind of thing where you can basically it's a device which helps you to get the internet connection to your device. So I don't think you need more of explanation. So there is a modem. So wherever internet is available, there is a modem through a particular wire I'm talking, not through your cell phone or something. So it is wireless communication. Okay, here when it is wired, when there is a connection between one point to your device through a particular wire, so there a modem is needed. So it is a device which is between your device or devices and the internet company. So a particular wire comes, it goes to the modem, and from the modem it goes to your devices. And if the modem is having a wireless connection also, so you can have Wi-Fi. That is what is called as Wi-Fi. Okay, so the modem will be having an antenna which is broadcasting that particular internet to that fixed space. So it could be 5 meters, 10 meters, 8 meters, whatever. Okay, so only till that particular area you are getting internet. If you go out of it, the linkage is broken and you will not be having connectivity with others. Okay, or the internet connectivity is lost basically. So this is a modem. So this is about internet advertising. So advantages and disadvantages. We'll look into the things in the next class. So I would like to stop the class here. Okay, so we can get back in the next class. Okay, students, bye. Take care.